I have been a part of Mom Mastery University for almost 3 years, about 2.5, almost 3. And it has completely transformed my life. My life looks absolutely nothing like it did 3 years ago. Nothing. And you can ask the people that are close to me, like my sister and my mom that are in Mom Boot Camp, and you can ask them, and they'll tell you that I am completely different. Boy, oh boy, man, we dove deep right out the get-go. We didn't even play patty cake or anything. We dove deep. And so I'm grateful to Hannah for doing that for us. And that really helped me to understand how important this is and how important it is for me to, I'm in the grocery store parking lot because it's a mom life, but how important it is for us to not just hide behind the shallow stuff anymore and get down to the root.
I was in total overwhelm. My husband is currently working out of town. We're actually in 2 different countries right now. We have 2 young boys at home and we're expecting. So it was just completely overwhelming. I didn't know what to do anymore. I was to the point where I was yelling at my kids and the house was just getting out of control. I didn't know what to do anymore. A friend of mine reached out to me and told me about Hannah Keeley's boot camp. And I just said, Lord, I need something because I don't know how to do this on my own anymore. I'm not yelling at my kids anymore. I'm literally, the house is coming together. Our income has increased. Things are already starting to take shape and form of what I had actually posted on our vision board. Multiple things, which I can't even wait to share when they actually come to pass. But they're in the works. There's movement towards them. Huge, massive things. So yeah, our life is changing. Our marriage is getting better. I'm not negative towards my husband being out of town anymore. I know God's going to bring us back together in his perfect timing. And I just have this new sense of just happiness and joy and energy and focus. I'm just so excited for where this is going to go. The training that we've really invested in is beyond the price that we paid. So if you are thinking about getting involved with Mom Boot Camp 2.0, please don't wait. Just join.
Wow, this stuff like really works. Like what she's teaching us, like it's true. Trust the process, right? Like she says. And so I got a phone call from somebody who I have an interesting relationship with, and I wouldn't say it's strained, but it's not very healthy either. I'm talking about my dad. And, you know, he's a big part of my life. He watches my kids for me twice a week. And, you know, I love him very much, but our emotional relationship isn't always the best. It's a, hey, how you doing? Thanks, you know, stuff like that. And, you know, we don't always say we love each other or things like that. We don't have discord between us, but we don't have like an openness either. Well, he called me and he was real weird on the phone, and he said, you know, are you with a client? And I said, yes. And he said, well, call me back when you're not. I'm like, okay, you know, that's weird. So later on, I hadn't called him back yet because I was busy, and I see him pull up to my shop and he kind of peeks in, and I have a client, and I'm like, huh, and he drives away, and I'm like, is my dad gonna tell me something's wrong? Like, is he sick? Do I owe him a ton of money? Like, what is happening? And I tried to take all of those thoughts captive and be like, no, it's gonna be fine. Whatever he's gonna tell me is going to be fine. And finally, I had a moment to call him back, and he said, well, I want to gift you $2,000. My dad has never, ever done something like that. Yes, he loves me. Yes, he wants to provide for me. But yes, he's also taught me to be a hard worker and to work for what I have. And nothing was a handout. And this was a handout. And I'm always cautious because I think, well, what are the strings attached to this? You know, what do I need to pay you back? Like what? And he said, no, like I came into some money and I want to gift you $2,000. And immediately in my mind, I was praising God because that $2,000 is what I needed to pay off a debt with the highest payment of my month. And I know that's kind of backwards because Dave Ramsey says, snowball, you start with the smallest payment and work your way up. But, I was knocking that sucker out. So over the boot camp, I probably, with what was gifted to me, and with what I've saved in just my own money, with the lessons she's taught us about the meal planning and everything like that, I guarantee you I have taken in over $4,000 this month of blessings. And I know that is because what Hannah has taught us.
The vision board and the affirmations are amazing. So for me, for my what I experienced is, so this is a personal story that I just experienced a couple of weeks ago. I asked my kids what they would like to do in the future, and because it's winter time, and so they just shared they want to go to a water park and play. And so I printed out 2 pictures and there are kids in the picture and also the water park, and there's some tunnels they could slide down, things like that. And then I also put a picture about a kid and it's touching a dolphin, and that's just an experience I had when I was a child. And so I put that on there on my vision board as well. And so what happened is right after that vision board was done, in 2 days, my husband just told me he booked a trip to Mexico, and he found a hotel that has a kids water park in it, and he was looking at this trip about he found a trip where we could actually go take a boat and then see the dolphins, and probably the kids would get to swim with them. And so it's just a testimony of mine that vision board does work. And sorry, that's my daughter.
Speaking to you from Scotland, and I'm in my new car. I just wanted to say a couple of things about the boot camp. It's been brilliant. I think for me, the thing that really was a big take home was when Hannah talked about tying a bow on it. And I've heard this before, but when she talked about doing 85% of the dishes, I talked about doing laundry and not putting away. She's been in my house, I think. This is a problem in my house, and I hadn't quite realised I wasn't tying a bow on things. So 2 years ago when I joined Mum Mastery University, we were in quite difficult financial times. I was driving a 15-year-old car. Then a year ago, my mum actually gave me her old car. It was great, but it was a 9-year-old car, so it wasn't helping me. Cars don't last too long in the UK. A 9-year-old car is going to break down. So, but it was great. It was so kind of her. Then fast forward, 8th of December last year, I was in the car with my children. My daughter, who's 5, she's called Hannah, she was saying to me, she was just tired. She was in a bit of a strop, and she was saying, I don't like this car. It's not like your other one. The other one was yellow and it was fun. It broke down a lot, but and I was trying to, we were talking about this. I was trying to say, it works a bit better. And then we're still having this conversation, and somebody drove into the back of my car, and that was the end of the car. So I needed a new car. We got a little bit more money than the car was probably worth from the insurance. Still struggled to buy a new one. My mum actually gave me a little bit of money. I'd been trying to save away some money, so there was a little bit of savings, and we started looking, and we were really struggling. We looked at a few cars, and they were like 9 years old again, and I was sitting there saying, God, can you do better, please? You can do better than this. What happened? Yes, the thing I wanted to tell you was I didn't really understand the thing about seeds. So I did plant a couple of seeds. Having been through a lot of financial difficulty, someone I knew was really needing some money, and I gave her some money, and she was reluctant to accept it, but we kind of agreed I was going to get blessed for giving her the money, and it was a seed towards a new car. And 3 weeks later, I got this. This car is 3 years old. It is like new. It's so shiny. It's you guys in North America would laugh because it's quite small, but it's it's fantastic. It's tall enough for my giant family. We're all tall, and it works. It's economical. It's not going to break down. It actually is warranted for another 4 years. Can you believe it? So gone from 2 years ago when I joined Mum Mastery University, I was driving a 15-year-old car. Now I have a 3-year-old car. So if you are, I just thought I'd add, if you're on the edge, if you're thinking, I don't know whether to join Mum Mastery University, if it's finances that are stopping you, I would say join.
If you're considering the Mom Boot Camp, you won't be disappointed. Just physically looking around my house right now, there is a noted improvement in just about every area of my life. What you don't know, what you can't see, is my children. Do you know why? Because after 4 weeks of 2-hour videos twice a week, I have trained them to work independently with their homeschool stuff and everything else for the 2 hours while I take the boot camp class. We have kept that in place on Mondays and Thursdays, and it's a gift of time, truly. It's just been wonderful. I've already made a lot of leaps and bounds through Hannah's teachings, but the boot camp kind of went an even deeper, like a lot deeper. I had to reach back and find things that I didn't even know were there. And everything is mindset. It comes down to everything is your mindset. We don't even realize perhaps the bondage that we have until we are confronted with it. Until we all of a sudden just realize one day, this is not how it's supposed to be. I mentioned in one of my earlier testimonies, clutter, I don't see it. Well, I see it now, and wow, it's bad. Even the places that I have made better can still be better. I can teach my kids better. I have the skills to do that now, and I am calendarizing all of that. Going back to mindset is everything. I busted my knee about a month ago, and for the past 23 years, I've used ice, heat, essential oils, massage, all those things to try to fix it myself. Well, I busted it to the point where the only thing that could fix it this time is surgery, which is the same surgery that has been recommended to me many, many times over the years. Probably for 23 years. And I've been too afraid to do it. So I didn't, and after the boot camp, now I can. And I am totally at peace with going in and going under on Wednesday. And only God, only God can fix this. I can't fix it anymore. It's beyond my repair, as was a lot of things. And I've learned how to talk to God, how to listen to Him, and just how to pull things toward me. And it's been an amazing few months, just with the harvest, like from the seeds that I planted and the work that I've done. The harvest is an amazing thing. And you know what else? My husband had a job interview today. He's been with the same company for 19 years. And if he accepts this job, it could mean a move. It could mean a long commute for him both ways. It's about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes away, depending on traffic, which means less of him at home, or we have to move. And you know what? I'm fine with that because I can handle it. I have no fear because I know God has my best interest at heart and that of our family. And as long as we are obedient to Him, then everything's going to be great.
Mom Boot Camp 2.0 blessed and kicked my booty. It was only in week 2 that I had my huge breakthrough. Because what you don't know is that my blog had been in the works for a couple of years. And yes, there's reasons like life and everything, but Hannah has taught me to uncover those layers, to uncover those lies. But to be in such peace and power, it was only 1 month. It was 1 month. But let me tell you, in that 1 month, the huge breakthroughs that I had, I was able to help my mom who was in the ER and everyone around us, because I was calm and I was just operating in faith. Just amazing. It's been life transforming. It really has. And my husband has seen the difference, and my children. And I had already been in Mom Mastery University. But this is so awesome. And I just cannot wait for you to have the same experience too. And just go for it. Go for it.